Yeah, so this is Stone Vigil, which is the first dungeon where you fight against dragons consistently, which is a main theme of the expansion Heaven's Ward, which is the 50 plus, or 51 plus dungeons really. But here you're not really there to be, obviously, fighting against the same the same reason. You're literally here just to collect the airship. So it's an interesting concept that they had the dungeon and then you end up fighting dragons for a long time in the story, not long afterwards. No, I'm just waiting on the tank going. It's his first time here, but it's not an overly hard dungeon anyway. It just means that I may have to be a little more attentive with my... Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to be a lot more attentive. So unfortunately, it looks like this run's gonna be a lot of healing. Oh, I didn't see that hit me, but... Okay, this is going to be a bit more of a pain than I was hoping, but... Yeah, it should still be fairly easy. I'm hoping anyway. Although the way his health is dropping is kind of boring. It basically means I'm going to be spending more time casting Psychic than putting on dots, and I don't like that. But I know what it's like, because the first time I ever came here, I had similar problems. It's just the choice of starting out. Everybody has to do it somewhere. Being the tank, it's unfortunately more noticeable than other classes, because obviously you're taking the damage, or you're taking the brunt of the damage, I should say. No, I'm gonna need... No, don't do that, don't do that. It's gonna be a little bit harder for a second until I can take that off. It's gonna be much more difficult than the last run, although last run was a bit of a pain because I had somebody that wasn't dodging skills at all. That's the first tip I would give to anybody playing any MMO, but specifically this one, since it's one I'm playing. Don't stand there inside of AoE. And the other tip I would give is just be ready to... Well, as I'm playing Scholar, I'll give tips for Scholar, but be ready to have to heal like that, because you never know what kind of tank you're going to get, or what kind of situation you're going to end up in. Like, your tank may be inexperienced, your tank may be under-geared. Or, obviously, there's so many different situations you can be in. Yeah, it's the same for any class. Like, you've got to be ready to tone your DPS down if you're always stealing aggro. Have to be ready to... Although obviously you shouldn't really want to ever tone your DPS down, but you have to be ready as a tank to pull less than you would like because your healer isn't good enough to heal. I know I've seen my Rand, when he played, would generally pull everything that he could. I couldn't do that because my gear wasn't good enough and I didn't have enough trust in the healer, but his basically partner that you'd play with was a healer. So that was really good. I know the guy personally. And I know he's probably one of the best healers you could have in a game from experience. So it was obviously a lot easier for him because the guy knew exactly what he was doing. For now, mostly I'm just keeping up my dots, trying to get them all out before I have to start healing. Because at the moment I clearly know that I'm going to have to heal a lot more than I would like. Thank you, Moth. And thank you for the host. I couldn't really think of what to go for, and I was playing Final Fantasy, so Niggles made sense. And I don't think I'm in range to heal this guy, although not the best part to watch though, because you're seeing me tank as a... Okay. But yeah, tanking as a healer is not exactly what I was intending to show. I don't have to give much love to Moth for that, because that's the first time I've ever been hosted. So let's see. Next part, I'm pretty sure we have to be careful because there's the dragon that breathes fire on us just up ahead. And we're actually getting... Oh, never mind, we're fighting something else. I was gonna say we're having a tank who likes to clear the whole dungeon, which is nice for EXP. But I'm just continuing keeping my dots up, and I'm actually able to do damage here, which is nice. Oh, I'm trying to do damage to things that are out of range, thankfully, because we're not attacking them. And somebody still called them. Yeah. I don't want to be in that. I need to take that off because people are... I think there's two people tanking, so I need to actually AoE heal. Let's see. Casting that is pointless. Don't do stupid things like that, where it would be my biggest tip though. Casting Bane when there's only one enemy isn't going to do anything. And we'll just use this for fun, basically. Let's see. So, for here, if I can do it in time, I hopefully can. Oh no, never mind. I don't have any Everflow, so I don't have what I need to cast Bane, so I can spread my dots onto them, but that's generally what I try and do every fight, is make sure every enemy has dots on them, so that they die faster, and if I can, I will try and DPS for the rest of it, but I've needed to heal a lot more than normal in this one because it's a relatively new tank. Let's see. At least the 1 DPS seems nice, he's even offering. Oh, should have known that was coming, but they missed me anyway. Over here, I'm just continuing placing dots. And casting Everflow to keep it up. And then hurting myself. We're getting through it fairly fast, all things considered. It's a much better run than my first run of here on this character. But that was my own fault, not anybody else's. I completely underestimated the damage that my tank would take. But here we are at the first boss, who is Churudo. Who, if you've ever played it, is a straightforward boss. Which we're going to get an explanation of first, I think. But basically, he casts an AoE in front of him that, as long as you're not, or you're behind him, he can't damage you. And the only person that should be in front of him is the DP, or the tank, who will obviously be the only one taking the damage, hopefully. As you can see, he's taking the damage, and my Aeos is not healing him because he's not in range. And shit, that's not what I meant to do. I hope I can get this out in time. Yeah. Other than me not dodging out of the way there, that was okay. Oh yeah, now I've got my Aeos in place to heal him, because I hadn't really thought about the fact that he's moving further away. I can concentrate on DPSing, because in general bosses do less damage than mobs do, it seems, to me anyway. Well, obviously they do more damage single attack, but overall you don't get attacked by quite as many people, so obviously you take less damage. If it's fairly basic math, but you get hit by 2 people, you're going to take more damage than if you get hit by 1 person in total. How did that not hit me? I wonder. Ah, not going to complain. And there we go. So that's the first boss out of the way. And it looks like that he's going to go the wrong way. But that just means, as I say, more EXP, which is always a good thing, especially since the main reason I'm doing this dungeon is for the experience. Basically, the mobs are as you were casting dots and then casting a rune. This specific one, he seems to be taking less damage. And I've got a dog. If you can hear that. It's a happy little sleeping dog that's dreaming. Let's see, you don't stand in that like that. Let's see if I can continue DPSing, or if I'll need to actually concentrate on DPS. Sorry, I can concentrate on DPS. Looks like I can concentrate on it, which is good, because that means we can get through it faster. Hopefully my dog wakes up, so... Let's see... One thing I probably should mention is my macro there is just a simple macro to keep my pet healing and not moving around. Although... hopefully he hasn't pulled too many there. Macro being the button, the big M on my down directional button. Just do this to keep my AOS healthy. Because this is going to get very messy, I feel. But looks like hopefully gonna survive. I'm not going to cast or turn myself into the cleric stance because he's taking way too much damage and I don't think I'd have time to change it. Oh, luckily I'm getting crits here because it's very close. But there's 2 enemies left. He should be strong enough to survive, I hope. So I can do the much more fun thing of DPSing. Yes, Moth, I have to thank you for my very first host. Let's see, there's going to be a dragon attack here, so I'm going to stand back so I don't get hit. Hopefully they'll not be out of range with the goblin eyes, so they can keep the buff on as well. And I feel like we're standing at probably the worst possible spot because the dragon will attack again, I'm pretty sure. And I think I'm going to die if he doesn't take this off me. It's getting messy. I'm so dead yet. I'm not gonna rush over there because I wanna get enough mana that I can summon my Aeos again, and then hopefully if they're still, no, none of them are alive anymore. I'm hoping they'll all get ups, because that way they don't get the debuff. Oh. That's a very good note for anybody. Don't stand in the passage with the fire-breathing dragon. It hurts. Are we all here yet? No, he's not going to wait for me to... I'm going to wait until he gets down and start casting it again. Around the range. Hopefully he takes aggro off the Aeos, because obviously I want the Aeos healing him, not itself, if possible. Because obviously it's much better, and it can focus on healing one thing, not multiple things. I do like to cast Succor at the end of every fight if I can, just because it means it galvanizes on everybody and we take less damage. Although, when we walk through that, it kind of nullifies that. Basically, here's just trying to keep up debuffs, our dots, and well, this is going to be fun because I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to heal, especially since I left my Aeos behind. And apparently I set in a AoE there. Oops. I'm just gonna put the dots onto this one just because I wanna try and get my dots onto two of them. And he's right, I do wish a lot more tanks would mark, because it's very rare to see. And it makes it so much easier for the DPS to actually focus on one target. That is the one target you want them to anyway. see, so for here, I'm hoping we can last long enough that I can get my dots out. And yep, we can. Hopefully, I'm just being pessimistic about stuff and he can actually survive, but I'm gonna have to heal because I'm getting attacked. Usually I try to stick to using Psychic because it costs less and I think it heals for about the same amount. See, yeah, it actually heals for more. And here we are at the second boss of the dungeon, which, for the most part, at least for me, does not take too many mechanical stuff to know. It's literally spam dots and ruin. Whilst healing if I need to. This guy likes saying boo. And then boom. And yeah, there's basic tips for there. If you're DPSing, you want to be the one, especially if you're ranged DPS. I feel like if you don't have a ranged DPS, it's actually better left to the healer, but that's just me. And hopefully I can get him in this spot. My AOS is still going to be able to heal him. I'm going to bring him a bit closer first, so I can hopefully keep him out of any AoEs. As I say, the biggest problem we have here is that the tank doesn't quite have the experience to survive everything. So whenever I get things like the Isvind, not sure if I'm saying that right, but attack, I have to be prepared to switch to crap, I'm in the type in that I shouldn't be in. Luckily, if you do get caught in it, you can just use like I have been twice. And the third time, it seems to really like me. I'm usually a limit break on him. Yeah. I feel like that would have been better save for the final boss, but that's just me. But basically, anytime you get hit by, or somebody gets hit by the wind, if you notice it, you should cast leeches. And I'm dead because somebody wasn't stopping the ice in time. No, that's because of where it is. No, that's understandable. Luckily, where I died there was at the very end, so it didn't have a negative effect on anything. But I think the tornado placement can be really bad in this place at times. And I didn't realize that I was quite as low health, which didn't help. Otherwise, I would have just focused healed myself. And this is an easy room if he's careful, as long as he doesn't pull the third one that comes in. Although, it looks like I'm gonna have to heal. Then he pulled it. Makes it fun, to say the least. It looks like he survived that, and hopefully this means I can focus on dotting. And maybe go into DPS mode for a little while. I better not this time casting a heal when he's not going to be there. Or he's not going to be alive long enough, so it don't matter. Two people are tagging. And I did that in a completely wrong way. There we go, that's it, sort of. I was hoping to get 2 under the stone, but before I ended stream, but it looks like I'm only gonna get 1. So I'll probably do the other one off stream sometime. And we're gonna be patient here, apparently. Which is never a bad thing. Although I can see why. You would rather him be patient. And that one was fairly easy. And another pain in the butt one because there's a Dragonade that's just around the corner. And he provoked it. Well, he didn't provoke it, but... There we go, that should sort it out. And then... whenever we get rid of the Dragon Avis, I'll feel a bit more confident about actually DPSing them. Because it does quite a bit of damage. And I'm not going to bother spreading those or even rebuffing them because the battle's over. And I think we've got one more room and then we're at the end of the dungeon. If I'm right. No, I don't want to be. But yeah. This is where I'm going to have to pay a lot more attention to actually healing, because 3 Dragon Avises definitely hurt a lot. Although, never mind, it's not really doing much so far. No, never mind, I'm talking about my butt. Although, somebody just, like, insta-died. Cast the wrong spell. At least he's smart and coming back, because that actually means you don't get the weakness debuff on you. But yeah, not an ideal one because the tank's not quite ready to do this. Oh, he's ready to do it, but needs a bit more hitting, so to speak. The guy must be a PS4 player because I know his struggle. I don't have a keyboard, so I don't really type in game. No, never really thought of making him face a wall before, but it definitely helps. Before we go into... Oh, what have I done? Yeah, basically this guy's just explaining what to do for the dungeon, or the boss, but for the most part it's basically avoiding his AoEs, jumping out of the way whenever he's in the air, because he will do it in a straight line, a big AoE, and he will also do a sort of targeted AoE where you're standing. As for me, I will mostly be doing casting like Bio 2, Miasma, and Arrow just to keep the dots on. And when need be, healing. And Ruin whenever all the dots are on. But hopefully it won't be a tough battle, so that I can concentrate on the DPS, but it looks like he's going to be watching the full cutscene there, so we may have a couple minutes of waiting. which isn't too fun. Yes, and Moth, if you're still here, how's the internet situation going? I think you mentioned something on Discord, but I only glanced at it, if I'm honest. I think you mentioned something about... No, what is it? Yeah, you can't stream until they get back to you, but hopefully they get back to you soon. Nah, this is the part that I struggle, trying to figure out something to talk about while I wait for the tank to be ready so we can fight. Well, I don't think I've ever watched this cutscene, so I have no idea how long it actually is. There we go. Now we're ready. And there's the thing that a friend of mine says is always lucky. Patting the Lalafell for luck. Basically, the main thing to watch for as a healer at this point is when he uses Rhine Reef, I think it is. It's called. Which, and I just wasted that eye for an eye. And they both got hit by that. But when he uses Rhyme 3, basically it hits everybody, so you need to be ready to heal them. Just in case they get hit by anything, and I'm in a bad position there. This is gonna hurt. I've definitely not done this optimally. But it could be worse. Everybody's still alive, and that's the main thing. Biggest problem is that the color of the AoE is very small, or very similar to the floor, so it's very hard to notice. And I'm running out of mana, which is not good. I've probably been spamming Super more than I should have in this run. Is the AOS in range? I don't think so. No, that's gonna hurt. It doesn't have that. Oh, I can't remove leeches without the leeches. Never mind. I didn't realise that. I thought I had actually removed it last time, but never mind. It looks like we're still gonna get through this fairly easily, but it's just being a little bit more messy than I would like. Hopefully can avoid wherever he's doesn't have like shit. Bring my language there. And I just about had the man out of there. But we got through without any deaths or anything. That's good.